Pull up terrain.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Motion RC Live. I'm James. It is Friday the 5th of March, the first episode in March, the 9th episode. I got my coffee, and I just want to say that video was awesome. That popped up on Facebook. Guy Pedroso shared that. I loved all the views of all the different aircraft. You have cameras everywhere, and you see the 360 cam on the back of the tail. Reminds me of when everybody thought it was faked. The Venom going down the mountain. Like, that's what it does. The plane can move, but the camera can lock onto the horizon, which is really cool. So you get that awesome perspective. So, yeah, I got a chance this week. Yesterday was the perfect, finally, some beautiful flying weather. Things are starting to warm up around here. So I got out with, if you've been following on social, I set up and last week I think it was, we showed the thrust vectoring kit, or 2 weeks ago. I got that kit installed on my MiG-29. So we got out with it yesterday. I got about 4 or 5 flights on it, and I was having fun. Obviously, I'm not slow rolling it across the runway yet, but what I loved about the TV unit, at least on the MiG, is it's not as, let's say, crazy as the TV unit on the Su-35. You know, the Su's a very light aircraft, so when you're at high rates, that thing will flip on a dime. The MiG was much more reasonable and much more fun to fly, or less scary for me, this is for me, to fly on the TV units with the TV just on all the time. It wasn't, I thought it was going to be a lot more vicious, you know, but it can it can pull up, and it could still turn on a dime. And we had a lot of wind. It was cross, but then it was coming down the runway, so flying it into the wind just made for, you know, even easier. So I was taking that super high, trying to stall it out and, you know, play in the high alpha, but you're going to be able to do a whole lot more with that TV unit. But you can see the way she, you know, the way she rotates it as it's on an axis, quicker than than normally. You can pull up. I was just like when I would push the nose down, like I would go straight vertical and then just push the nose down, and it would like 90-degree forward. It was really, really cool. So I was just messing with it super high up because again, I hadn't flown the MiG in a while. It's been a while since I got a chance to take her out. So I was excited to get her out with this. Let me see the comments on the side. So let's see. Oh, love the video. Thanks, Ken. Victor, all 3 surfaces. TV is, I have the rudder, the roll on the rudder, and I have the pitch on the elevator. So, and I'll show you guys how I set it up. Actually, I mean, I could do that now. We have a video coming next week. We're going to have a setup video, and we're going to have that full, that full flight. But it was fun, and it was more, again, more of a fun flight. It's not any sort of demonstration on thrust vectoring. I'm still a total noob with thrust vectoring, but, like, I have no intention to go put back on the original nozzles now that the TV is on this, because it just made for a different experience. And like I said, not something you need to be as worrisome about. Like the Su-35 is just can be very volatile with the, if that's the word, with the thrust vectoring kit on it. But that's also because one battery, much lighter EPS foam on that one. This thing's a heavier beast. So it flew really, really well. So again, one thing I do like too, so interestingly enough, you're getting more weight. So, well, you saw the video of them in the back. I'll plug it in a second. But basically, obviously, you're getting way more weight. We weighed both of these about 2 weeks ago on the table. So you're getting more weight on the back. So what I like, anybody who has the MiG or thinking of getting one when they do return, and they will return, there are 3 sort of humps where you could put your batteries. So with the original setup, just out of the box, I know I have my lines here for the 5000s and 5100s. I was here, one in the back, one up top, and then I had my receiver placed all the way up front. I'll tilt it down, and I had my receiver here. But now this is where I'm flying it. So this is again factory CG. So I'm still on the factory CG marks. I never had an issue with the factory CG where it flies. But I had to push this battery. First, I started up against here, and I kept CGing it. And this is where I'm getting factory CG up front with the 5000. So it's really up front. But what I liked is it cleans up. I was able to clean up my wiring a little more on top. And I have my receiver now up and out of the way, which is nice. I have one aerial for you aerial beans. I have one. I poked a hole with a screwdriver into the foam, so one aerial's down, so right in between, and one's going up against the side wall here. So 90 degrees, like this, if you will. My thumb and my pinky, index, pinky, thumb and pinky. But that's where I'm getting. That's where I'm balancing on CG. And then now the other thing, now you'll see in the video. So if you guys notice, I'm trying to fly more on Futaba as well. Like, I fly both, so the Admiral receivers on the Spectrum, and then we've been selling Futaba for a long time, and I wanted to learn it, sell it, and I'm enjoying it. But I only have 8-channel receivers so far with Futaba. I haven't advanced to a higher one. I haven't even experimented where you can plug 2 receivers in and turn them into satellites and things like that. Like, Futaba is very capable. So rudimentary wise, when I opened up my MiG, I looked at it, I already had 7 channels plugged in. So I've got aileron, elevator, throttle, rudder, landing gear, flaps, and then I had my BEC plugged into channel 7. So when you get your TV kit, you're going to get, there's 2 servos in each kit, and in each side, obviously, one on each for the roll and one on each for the pitch. They give you 1 Y lead and 4 extensions. The extensions, to get you up into the canopy. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, I need another Y lead. So I grabbed 2 extra Y leads I had. What I did was I wired my BEC into my flaps so I could power the receiver, and that freed up 2 more channels, 7 and 8. So I wired together the roll, if you will, the rudder, put that into channel 7, and then I wired together the elevators. And then when I did my mixing, I realized the error of my ways is that the elevator in the TV units does not have a reverse servo. So when you go to do the mix, and that's why they didn't include another Y lead, because when you go to do the mix, your mix is going to be like this, your elevator. That's why on any dual elevator where you have two servos in a Freewing aircraft or flight line or something, you're going to get a reverse servo so that they go together. So you don't need a reverser and a switch. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I don't have that extra channel. My only options were what? Try to just use a three-way lead and have the rudder and the thrust vectoring into one channel like together, but then I can't shut that off. And then have each elevator separately because I didn't have that extra channel to do it separately. So what I ended up doing is I did rip out the servo because it's just a 9-gram servo, and I replaced it with a reverse servo. So one of my thrust vectoring pitch servos is now reverse, and then it works fine. So that was my workaround for it. So if you're thinking about the TV unit, just keep that in mind if you're gonna so you can do it on 8 channels, but you really want to have, you know, if I had the Admiral 10 channel in here, like I did, it would be fine. But now that I'm, you know, working on learning my Futaba knowledge, I had to work with what I had, and it works. So with 8 channels, you can have it all work together. You would just need 2 extra Y leads. You need a place for that BEC, unless you want to power that separately. Yeah, no, you need a place to plug it into the receiver. And I just thought the flaps was the least problematic with wiring it into the flap. So that worked. But yeah, I see people power box expander and ×2 Futaba 7003 SB. Yeah, that might work too. Yeah.
A lot of talk of going S-Bus too.
Yes, and that's the other thing. S-Bus is, I still haven't even got into the S-Bus. I do want to learn that. I just haven't had time because I do want to make some of, you know, those Admiral, the Hobby Eagle gyro videos are some of the most popular long-lived videos we got on the channel, and I do want to make extra ones to set up the S-Bus side of it, because really, I mean, everything still is programmed in through those gyros. It's just setting up the S-Bus to get you there is what I want to, you know, is definitely get into as well. But S-Bus would limit it entirely, right? The amount of channels needed. But overall, man, I'm super excited. So while I have it here on the table, I'm gonna just plug it in and show you it real quick. I always plug in the one with my BEC first. I don't know if you guys do that, but I always do that. And I got a little chatter. And there we go. So I put it all on my H switch. So I'm gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna hold it. Actually, hold on, yeah, she's a big boy. Let me take that off before I break my pitot tube again, because I did it. Somebody posted about their pitot tube, and then yesterday at the field, I'm like, I didn't crash it.
As we were packing up.
As we were packing up, I broke my pitot tube. So I'm gonna rest that there. I got throttle cut on, yes. So I have it on my H switch up here is where I put it, just 2-position switch, so nothing. And then when I flick the switch, and it's actually funny the way I set this up. I put the elevator at like 90%, and I was just flying at high rate. It was great. So that was, you know, super high in essence, and then the rudder, and then when you work them all together. But then if you want to get out of dodge, you flip the switch, and you're back to that thrust line. So overall, I'm super, super happy. I remember, I mean, you guys, most of you guys are with us here. When we announced the MiG, we announced that a TV unit was coming, and Alpha, if you're out there, you know, at that time, the information I got was that it was going to be a 3DP, you know, something that you would have to either print on Thingiverse, buy the plans on, probably they were going to give the plans, who knows how it was going to come out, or it was going to be a 3D printed thing that we would ship out. And the fact that they come and it's a foam molded piece, like, you know, in eventual iterations of this aircraft, who knows, they could come like that. It looks like it should be there, and it should always be there. And when you take the nozzles off, you'll see in the video, like, I remember I was talking to some guys up here, I forget who it was, but you said just pry it off, and yeah, you just pry off this piece. I mean, there's, you know, there's a decent amount of glue, but it didn't rip anything. I could always put this back on. And this is the back portion where the cover is for your to get access to your EDF fans, you're going to be able, that piece is also molded on the bottom of the MiG, so that helps give it some assurance. And these just peel right off. First you peel the nozzle off, then I just stuck my finger in there, maybe a little razor blade if you just want to get a little mechanical help, but that just peeled right off, and then I just glued it on with foam tack, and she was good to go. And she's rocking and rolling. So overall, I'm really pumped. I hope you guys dig the video, and I am now back on having the MiG, in my arsenal again. So I can't wait to get it back out. And, at this point, this MiG she's been beat up. She looks probably better on camera than she does in person. So I am, I promise I'm going to try to get low and dirty, and regardless if I succeed or fail, I'm going to show you guys. So, because I just, been watching like Justin's videos and all these guys, and they're just, cruising over the runway. I just got to learn how to stay in the high alpha and turn, because if I could sink better, in our field and be low enough. My problem is when I want to get low at our field, I'm usually having to drop in, and I'm still just, it's nerve-wracking. The trees, they're not that close, but they're not that far either. So, I'll work on my best. I feel like I'll be much better if we could ever have like a Jonal and I get, infinite build-up to just sink in front and go. But who knows if that's ever going to happen. But, man, I can't wait till the MiGs are back in stock for you guys. And, anyone who already has a MiG, I don't even know if the thrust vectoring units are ready. They might be out of stock already, but more will come. But it's definitely worth it. Once you put them on, you're not going to want to take them off. I think they look great. They work well, and, very impressive. I'm very impressed with it. So that's that. One thing I want to mention, so obviously, moving on, March Mayhem, Alex transferred it over. March Mayhem, Tuesday is the last day. Remember, Tuesday at midnight. I think as of this morning, I counted, we're now over 90 entries already. And then that doesn't include, I know a few guys, posted non-motion RC planes. A few guys posted. I saw one guy posted an aircraft that already made it in last year. So can't do that. But I think it's Cult Pilot. It's Timmy Toutant. We saw it. Your A10 was already in last year's tournament. So if you got another one, I think he posted a Blue Angels F-18. So that was the entry that counted. But just remember that. And then also, actually, before we get into March Mayhem, because we're going to go through that thread, I want to show you guys. Check it out. So this is what I talked about. It's so much easier for us to do merch this way. We opened up our Teespring store. So I went through. A majority of these designs are coming from me, and then Todd as well. He's our Eros on Hobby Squawk. He's our graphics guy. He's going to be making some, and we could just toss them up there. So Motion RC was something that, just made sense. So if you want to check it out, these are starting to populate on YouTube. You could see one of them, I think just a Spitfire shirt made it there. But click on that, and then click on, and you have options to check it out. And the way Teespring works, you give them the design, and, they handle all the stuff. They handle all the printing and the shipping. So if you have a problem with something, you go to Teespring. You don't contact Motion RC. But it's just so much easier. We're not a merch store. The leggings, there they are. They look great, don't they? I definitely perused the leggings for a while. But, yeah, so then I went through, because Todd had originally made that Corsair and the Jet shirt. You see those two on the bottom, so I remade those. Those are the ones that we still have for sale on motionrc.com. You could still buy what's left there, but hopefully eventually, this becomes the new place for merch. But I sort of followed that vein and made a heli one, some tank ones, some boat ones. For the heli guys, I did a Spitfire one, because you gotta have a Spitfire there. And then, yeah, check it out. And what I love about this, too, is, because I'm pretty good in Photoshop, Todd is great in Photoshop as well. If we have fun, guys, when something pops up, like an inside joke, I'll just throw it up as a t-shirt. And I'm thinking of doing limited edition type stuff. We can only buy it for a month. things like that. There are collectible things, like I made a poster for the Spitfire because, again, I love the Spitfire, but I was thinking of doing that for new releases and stuff. It's very easy. It's so much easier for me to just make a design, toss it up, and throw it up. So,
And we lost all the pictures.
and the pictures went away. That's Teespring's fault. That's not my
Yeah,
fault.
it's on Teespring.
Maybe it's people are crashing
We
it
just
now.
overloaded it, guys.
Yeah, but if you want something, check it out. Give it a try. I've ordered GB Linden. You're in here. You know, I made GB's, we worked together. I took his ideas. I made his logo, and I bought his logo on a shirt. Mary Boozer. I got a shirt from them, and the shirts are great. So, enjoy it, and hopefully, now you don't have to worry about merch because we can get a bunch of merch there. And there's so many other things, hats and beanies that you got to do, but you got to do them a little differently. You got to work with colors. The hardest thing with Motion RC, these 3 blues aren't any sort of standard blues. They're specific blues, and when it comes to like threads and stuff, like if they don't get the blues right, boss gets mad. It's got to be those blues. I had to go to Home Depot a few times to get those blues to be the exact blue you want. Yes, Slater, that's me. I see you used to work. I did. I've been in the hobby at like a decade now. It's crazy. And I'm actually flying. Those days I wasn't flying, or I was, and it was really poor. So I've only gotten more improved since those days. But yeah, man. So check it out. And again, I put the price. So another thing with the prices, they're as low as they could possibly be that Teespring will allow. It's not about anything other than go get yourself some Motion RC merch, man. Yeah, leggings. And I wanted a sweatshirt so bad, and it's actually funny. Actually, Alex, go grab the. You gotta grab. So, me and Alex have been freezing out here, and going out to make these videos, I had like a regular old black beanie that Alex thinks I look like a robber. Like I'm going to rob a store when I had my mask on. Like the Wet Bandits. So I just went on a website myself, threw our logo on, in their little designer, and printed myself out a beanie. And it came to me, and this is the problem. This is the problem. So I love the beanie, but I'm like, guys, you printed my logo. You printed our logo upside down. This is like sacrilegious. So so I was a little mad, and it took that company. I'm not gonna denounce the company. It looks great if it was the right way, but I sent them, and they said, "Oh, we'll see what we can do." I'm like, "See what you can do? You printed it upside down. I think you should send me another one, unless I wear it like this."
That's what I would say. Wear it like a big sock.
Roll it inside out, and then it's like, that's, or it comes all the way down, and then you fold it up this way. But either way, it was like, I was so excited to see them because I didn't get like a shipping notice. They just showed up one day, and then I opened it to my dismay. But they are sending me they're redoing it. But I said, your design template shows the fold, and I put the logo this way, and this is what I got. So, what are you going to do? But Teespring does make beanies and stuff, but I don't know if we're going to be able. I may just have to do them with the logo all in white. That might make it easier than trying to do it with the, which I think would be cool anyway, black with white. But I really wanted white with the blue. I like the white with the blue stuff. So either way, that's merch. So now, moving on to March Mayhem. So it's on like Donkey Kong. As we said, we've got 90 submittals, and man, this year might be crazier than last year as far as we had obviously a ton of gorgeous customizations last year, like the winner was at AWACS there, and we're still waiting on a few people that you're going to see in a little bit. Actually, William Jackson made a video about he only had 9 days when he released the video to get it submitted. But you're going to see some of our favorites. So Corsair Nut, we've got to choose. He gave us the option to choose one of his, if it's going to make it. I think one of his is going to make it. But is it this awesome A4 Blue Angels, because that looks like glass, or is it the T-33 completely turned into a P-80? That's the decision he left for us, and that call. That gets me mad.
Edit that post and delete one.
That gets me.
And you know which one you have to delete.
Yes, fair enough. Darn it. No, I don't. But when that first came through, I'm like, gotta choose these. Then Snake. I mean, his MiG looks awesome, but at least he just gave us the MiG, which is great. But going through it, man, just the amount of beautiful birds that are coming through, it's, you know, and I hope this starts the trend where people just, you know, work hard to get one in here. You know, that's what I love about it. Like, you'll have a year to make sure yours is submitted, be ready, you know, get it outside. But look at this, Griffin wings. I mean, that's a gorgeous MiG. They're so beautiful. Everything. Nice F-16. I love that. The aggressor. Completely clean. And that's the real one. For a second, I was like, is that a real picture? Like, and then I saw the pilot, like, leaning forward. I'm like, Freewing's pilots don't lean forward like that.
Griffin Wings is in the chat.
Griffin Wings.
Looks
Great
good, buddy.
submittal, man. Again, I can't promise anyone that if I'm calling your name out here, I can't promise it's going to make it. There's still 5 more days of submittals yet, but, you know, if it does, then it is definitely worthy. And then part of me, too, is like, you know, the people on the outskirts, if I let you in and you were, let's say, the 64th person to get in, then you can't resubmit that plane next year, you know? So the 65th person could, you know, or you got to re-scheme it. Tolga, I love that he got his OV-10 in there. Radford RC, I've seen this, and I saw somebody else post the same scheme of this a little later on. These were the early ones when we first opened it up. But love the clean NC Flyer. Jared, that's Jared Kirby's. Then we got, and I love that. I thought we weren't going to get as many AL-37s, but
You thought wrong.
I thought wrong. I think, I don't know, but depending on how it goes, you know, I like evenness. I mean, if there's 16 AL-37s,
AL-37 bracket.
then one division would just be AL-37s, you know, like, then you guarantee only one AL-37 in the final 4. Let the AL-37s duke it out. You know, that's probably, I was going to try to do that last year, but we ended up with an uneven number or just too many to do a single bracket, so I ended up scurrying them throughout the brackets. But look at this.
I don't even recognize it.
Well, now remember, this guy, Suko, we showed him flying this on his video. This is beautiful. He converted a Su-35 to a Su-37, so it's a Su-35 with canards and thrust vectoring. Awesome. You know, it's like it's really beautiful. I'm not sure if I think it still exists. I don't think he didn't crash it, but looks beautiful. Now, is this Tom Hunt? Does I see Tom H? I don't know. He's not a squawker as much. I'm wondering, but
hold on, let me read it in
and
his
Avanti.
voice real quick.
Our friend Tom Hunt.
Yeah, I think so.
But this looks great. Just going through, guys. Yeah, I mean, even if you're not entering, remember, so this show next Friday is going to be dedicated to March Mayhem. We're going to have a full unveiling show, and we're going to unveil the 64 who made it. So you're definitely going to want to tune into that. And then when that show ends next week is when we start the voting portion. So anyone has a chance to win a $200 gift card. You just got to you just got to accrue points in a 64 style bracket. I love that. I love that. You know, that's what I noticed too. A lot of F4s. There were only about 2 last year, which I was surprised about because the F4 was a pretty customizable aircraft when it came out. But there weren't as many. I think last year only like 2 of them made it in there. Then this one is interesting. So this is F-15. That is just... But now here's where I look like...
The picture.
Like, who is this?
Go
back. Take this outside. Put it on the lawn. MPNJR. And resubmit. But he said he's halfway through. I thought, why did I choose this one? But just get a better picture. Because people are going to look at that picture and not appreciate it. You have a black table, you have black on the plane, so it blends in. The lighting isn't perfect. Get it outside. Would be the best. Roach Coach Hellies, did my F-22 make it into the contest? I don't know, man.
You'll know next week.
I have no idea. I'm waiting until Tuesday. I haven't even downloaded any pictures. This is probably the first time
This is the first time I'm seeing half of it.
Alex didn't want to look at it because he wants to see them as they come through. I've been checking, but I'm trying not to put too much focus because then when the contest ends, when the entry period ends, that's when I'm going to sit down that Wednesday, Thursday, and we're going to make our choices. I'm going to go through and pick what I think are the best 64. Then I'm going to pass it off to Alex, and he can say if he agrees, disagrees, which ones, and then Alpha will do it, and then, you know, and that's how we sort of work it through. You know, so we shall see. So if you don't make it, don't get mad at me. It's not just me. I love this. Look at this one. And then the hardest, some people have some really good pictures. So when you post more than one picture of an aircraft, again, you leave it on us which picture we're going to use. Because remember, in the voting portion, you're only going to see one picture. You know, a picture against a picture. So that's why I saw some guys posted some customization. Like I think Justin did his F-14, and he's like, I got a lot of customizations, but you can't tell. You know, there's no scheme change. And that's where this gets tough. It really comes down to the beauty of the scheme and, you know, so like if you customize split flaps to regular flaps, that's not, you know, it's tough to show, you know. It really comes down to you got to do the whole package like this, the weathering, that looks real.
That does look real. That looks like a real shot.
Ralph Stepper. There's a Griffin in March Mayhem. There's at least one. I know of one that I glanced by that we'll get to. We're gonna rack through it. I love how he did the Gilmore, but it's not custom. I don't think.
It just looks nice.
Yeah, a couple people just posted pictures of like their aircraft, and I don't know if maybe they thought they were in the wrong thread. But like I saw one, it's a beautiful picture of the 70mm Arctic Camo F-16, but it's just the Arctic Camo F-16. I'm like, it's a beautiful picture. Now this one, Jets and Wings, if you're out there, I love this picture. I love this plane. But I remember seeing a lot more pictures of this aircraft. So maybe, you know, put up a couple more. Like this one, this is an FMS 0. It looks beautiful, but it's an FMS 0. So, you know, it's out. That didn't count in my 90 tally. I love this. This is Wright Brothers. We shared this. That's our Bearcat. But I love that he has the fake house and flagpole that he puts there to like match up size wise. Like that's awesome. That's a fun pick. And then I did see one guy, V Danger, here it is. Like this is really awesome. So it's a formation customization. So a tri EDF. I wonder if he has the back two on differential thrust. Like if you put the back two at like right, left, would that work? But that looks really, awesome. That looks really cool. And that is a great customization. But just scrolling through them, it's truly, like anything else, it's just, it makes you really appreciate, the work that people put into these things. And, to see it all pull together, because you see it sporadically throughout Facebook and, and social and throughout different forum threads. But when you see them all together, and you could even Google search last year's entries ones, and it's gorgeous. Think about it, 64 aircraft that are still out there, maybe living, that are beautiful. Can't even be in here, can't get submitted this year because they already had their chance. Wow. But look at this.
Wow.
But RC Air Marshal, I'm waiting on you. Where is yours? Are you gonna put yours in the pot? Because yours looks beautiful too.
I'm a big fan of this one.
That's a gorgeous one. Polly Friend. Ooh. And then you got all the people who got a comment and bulk up the thread. Nice heli. Love this. I think that's AS350. Beautiful. I thought that was absolutely beautiful. And then this one, so this is a Black Horse. This is the Doe 335 that he said he converted to an M14 prototype. But this is where it gets tricky. It looks different, but is it different enough to make it? It's gorgeous.
I love it.
This is one that I eventually want to get my hands on too, because it's just odd.
Yeah.
like I have to fly it just because it's odd. But there we go. Prekin, we showed his, I think, last year with the Dumbo radar on the front of the B-24. So it's nice to see a B-24 get submitted. But then you have Straight Shooter. This guy posted 4 different AL-37s.
Does he? Oh, wow.
1, 2, 3, And then he has another one later on that he added, and they all look beautiful. But now since it's one person, you're only gonna,
Don't make us pick.
Don't make us pick. But it's awesome. We shall see. But then the other two that don't make it, you could resubmit next year to try to make it. Because, again, if you submit an entry and it doesn't make the 64, you could still resubmit it next year if you want to. So, you never know what the pot's gonna be. Something this year, and eventually people are gonna run out of planes to customize, or they're just gonna do more. Then you have Delta Dart, 2 beautiful helis. Again, he's a heli guy. You saw that 737 in Cabo last year? At the pick 20. Oh yeah. Yeah, the frozen AL-37 looked great.
Happy Squawk is failing us.
Oh, the internet's failing. Did we lose it? Oh
boy.
Everybody's killing.
For a second.
Cutting back to me. It went black. Wait for it to come back.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was, it's already 12:30, so if we can't get to it, scroll through it more. And the site can't be reached. Are we still live? I think we just crashed Hobby Squawk if everybody went there to check it, which is fine. But yeah, so that's it, guys. We got 5 more days. So if you've been waiting, William Jackson, Jeremy Salt, I didn't see his additions we know are gonna come, and anyone else out there, get them in, because it's gonna be fun when we get to the voting portion of this March Mayhem tournament. So heading over to Facebook customer community. Let's run around. What did I see? Lot of good stuff. But this week I knew I'd spend a lot of time on March Mayhem, promoting through that. But let's start with Ahmed Hassan. This was a crash. This came up the other day. Another almost similar to the one that we showed up. I was like, is this the same video? But another hit in the air on a quad. So this is a drone chase that went poorly. Alex and I haven't done this in a while. Now that I said it.
Knocking on wood over here.
Knocking on wood.
Playing since I started working promotions.
But
So.
woo! L39. Oh, and then pieces. Always tough to see. Moving on, Air Guardian. We're gonna show his video of this. Did you guys check this out yet? The video, I had to take the music off. He's got Fly Me to the Moon from Frank Sinatra in a MiG flying video with a perfect full moon. And he posted a few of these pictures on our Hobby Squawk thread. And I'm sure he probably posted them on social too. They're absolutely gorgeous. And the video itself is just a joy to watch. We'll show you a little bit of it when we get to the YouTube section in a bit. But again, you want to experience it on their channel. Give them the likes. Give them the subscribes. And listen to them. The music just works with the video. It's a very relaxing video. James Bowen. This is the Spitfire that you better get it you better enter it into the contest. I love this one. And that picture looks pretty great. But that one looks pretty great to me. You get the idea of it. But, I don't know if Alex will pick it or Alpha, but it might be one of my favorite ones. But it just looks gorgeous in general. What a beautiful, beautiful sight to fly it. The silver off the white. Unbelievable. That looks great. John Killen, another beautiful, always doing work to that Corsair. And his F4s. This looks loaded up. Just looks so mean. And I love the black around the edges. Love that. Good job. And then if you saw, we had another crash video popped up the other day from Justin having some fun out in Utah. And this was actually really funny. I think he's flying the T-33 and somebody's on a MiG-15 or MiG-17. Maybe customized, but ooh! Took him out. And then when he gets the slow-mo, you could see like the damage, even though the T-33 seems to live, pushed down. Roach Coach Helis, you have to submit your picture on the forum thread that we were just going through on Hobby Squawk. There it is, smooth! The new smooth graphic just dropped by. Yeah, Roach Coach Helis, you gotta get over to Hobby Squawk, there's a thread where it's entry, and if you post your picture there, then you are entered to have a chance to make the contest. And then next Friday is when we announce which 64 submittals from that thread make the chance to win the Gripen, and then everyone else will get to vote on that, and they'll have a chance to win a $200 gift card. So there's 2 prizes. You don't have to customize a plane at all to have a chance to win something. You could have fun in the game just playing. So you get that. But I don't know how the T-33 kept flying. I don't know how it finished. I don't know if the T-33 just exploded later on down the line. But that thing got completely wrecked. That was unbelievable. So, and really, one of those you're lucky to see shot. Spencer Keith, where is he? You said somebody at your field had the A24 Banshee, or is it A26? A24, I believe. A24 Banshee. This is from Nexa. So similar to the Dauntless, it looks like, with those the holes in the split flaps. But I love the red in the back. And one of those that, when the Nexa line came out, one of the ones that, I would love to see that one in person too. So it was good to finally see somebody out there with it. That's awesome. All right, and Roach Coach, Ashley wrote, as long as you post from your account on Squawk, then you'll be entered. So post your picture up. If you did that already, then we'll see it. Can't guarantee you're making it. Remember, I can't guarantee anyone is making it, but
I can. My Venmo
just be entered.
is Alex.
If you want to pay Alex, he'll get you there. Want to throw some money down. Then we got Jeremy Salt. He was at, I forget what flying, there's a show going on this past weekend, I believe he went to, or his upcoming weekend. I think he's there, and he brought all 3 of his customized AL-37s. So the KC-135 was entered last year, so that one cannot be entered. But one of his other 2s, and AWACS won last year. I wonder if an AWACS would win again this year, because that looks just as awesome. But then that E7 Wedgetail looks sweet as well. But there's a man who loves his AL-37s, which is absolutely awesome. And then Ryan Seibel, is he here? Oh yeah, he put up his Roban. I think it's Apache, but check this out. He's got the gun, the turret moves, but then the machine guns spin as well. Hit the like. That's so sweet. And then he just had a couple of pictures of the of his setup. But I love to see some Robans, especially like that. And I bet if you had a sound card with it and the spin, but I don't know how the functionality works in there. It must be 2 servos. One drives it, and then one spins the guns. But it looks awesome. And he's got his scale pilots inside. He really did. This aircraft looks completely customized. So Ryan, if you're out there, man, get a good picture of that outside, because that looks awesome as well. That
Run
is
the guns, get a little motion blur in there.
That would be a worthy entry into the March Mayhem tournament. And then Tom Halakanen with another Avanti, but with a Breitling, looks like the Chicago Bears, red and that blue or purple. I'm colorblind. It's it's just awesome. It contrasts really well, and it's different, and we always love us some customized Avantis. Just to look different is absolutely awesome. But that about does it for Facebook, guys. I didn't get too much time to tour through Facebook this week, so I'll go through next week. It was more about, with this March Mayhem thing going on, things are crazy. But we do have a lot on YouTube, and it takes time to prep these because, you got to get the video. I cut them down, add the lower thirds and everything. It's a lot of work goes into this show, which is awesome. But I hope it draws people to your channel. So Star William Jackson, you guys, we had him on here, and the interview just didn't go as, we had technical difficulties, but he's still working on his MiG, and this was him about 4 days ago he posted this. So he had 9 days left to get this in. He's going to try to finish it to get it submitted, so he has until Tuesday at midnight. So I know what he's going to be doing this weekend, but I can't wait to see what happens at the end of this whole run, because this has been, I don't think I've seen any aircraft with months-long productions to get. He hasn't flown it yet, but I can't wait to see. But if you want to check out William Jackson on YouTube, he's got this whole video up where he points to all his customizations. You know, and like some of these customizations are going to get lost in the one picture. That's where it's tough. You know, we can't do this with video. Can't expect people to sit there for an hour and watch 64 videos of people's customized aircraft. That's never happening. You know, to do this that way is tough. But either way, I can't wait. I hope he finishes. I hope he gets the chance to finish, because you know it's going to be sweet. So moving on, Jeremy Salt, love this video. Saw you pop this up here. I always appreciate this. Him and his son fly together. His son's flying everything at this point now. When we met him, he wasn't flying like this, but now, I mean, to be able to enjoy, I think his son's 10, 9 at this point, and to be able to bring your son out and just fly big F-15s together, you know, that's awesome. That's any father's. Any father in this RC hobby, that would be like a dream, right? That's what you want. Like, my son is 6 now. Even my daughter, 8. I'd love, they're just not ready for the sticks yet. But I hope to get it in his hands. He's still working on his Mario Brothers. He still asked me to help him to get past boards. I'm like, kid, you gotta be Bowser on your own, man. I did it. Bowser don't want none of me anymore. I've been beating him up since '85. You gotta get on that. But I always love seeing those videos, Jeremy. So, you know, keep them coming and give Kyler love from Motion RC. RC, so here it is. RC Forever. Alejandro, amazing. Just another amazing video. We always get you up here. But Air Guardian, but this is on your RC Forever channel, not your Air Guardian channel. The fact that you have 2 channels still is awesome, but he's got Frank Sinatra playing to this, Fly Me to the Moon, and it's like perfect. And see the way he just floats the MiG around, like, you know, this is when the plane and the pilot all just match up in sync, and it looks awesome. I didn't even see it in the smooth. What aircraft is it? Is it an F-18? What is it?
Everyone can call it out. It's very recognizable.
It's very recognizable. I missed the smooth going across. He showed it to me the other day. I didn't actually pay attention to what the aircraft was. I was so excited about the graphic work. I think that smooth is going to have to be on a T-shirt. That might be the first. That might be the first custom T-shirt from Motion RC. RC Tommy. Oh, RC Tommy. Where is he at? So, actually 2 videos. The next 2 that come up, because Frode released a video of Jan flying his turbined Gripen, but then just last night, RC Tommy released his, and RC Tommy's camera is absolutely gorgeous, because it's just so crisp that, you know, I love it. No knock to Frode. Your video is great too, but how clean this camera is, and you know, wherever holds it, like, it's beautiful. And then Jan, excellent pilot. He flies it slow across the field.
Oh, he's doing it. I'm gonna hit it.
He's got thrust vectoring, and I love that the S like scrapes the bottom of the screen.
Look
it's
like
like
the sparks. That took me.
He's
twice
got
as long.
sparks in there. I mean, this is Alex's job is hard. This is what he frets about when he's home, but it looks awesome. That's great. Go to Frode's. He's RC. So I had to shrink the graphics because I can't fit. That's his YouTube channel name. I can't fit that in the screen with the other side. But here's Jan again. I don't know if this is the same flight. If you guys were there different days, same day. I wasn't sure, but either way, looks great. It's a different perspective, if anything, for the guys that don't like it zoomed in so much. You know, you're gonna get the full breath when you watch Frode's video, and I love it as well. It looks great. Oh, I see Hamilton's in here. You're coming up, my man. I saw you were playing around with some Motion products the last week. I watched. I'm always watching. Everybody knows that. I always surprise people in the other live chats.
Jan and Gripen.
Jan.
It's Jan flying the Gripen.
Oh, Jan. Sorry. I always say Jan. Jan. Oh, J's and... I always say, you know, I'm James. That means I'm James. I should know that. I'm not James. But you got to forgive me. I get too excited and I don't think. Hamilton's hangar. So Hamilton, he had it. He was out. Check out his video. Well, I won't even say it. You'll see what happens. But he was flying his F-14. So I mean, this guy's just. I think you own like half the Freewing arsenal at this point. I'm not sure. But I love Che's channel. Him and his wife do a great job over there. He's got a live show, I believe Monday nights.
Was there no gear there?
Hamilton? Yeah, there's no gear. Something must have happened to his gear, but he, belly lands it just fine. But go to his video, check that one out. And then a separate video, he actually did a live stream where he unboxed this. But then he does a full unboxing. So Dave didn't get himself one. Because I was trying to force RC Air Marshal to get a Freewing, to get a Black Horse L39. But if you want to check out the Black Horse L39, follow Hamilton's hangar because he's going to be posting all about it. Probably updates, I'm sure. He's going to turn this into a lot of content and get himself together a balsa EDF jet. So I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited to see it. It's one of another... I don't have enough time. Next one for me is going to be the Hellcat, which you see in a little bit. We're going to talk about the NGH gas engine. That's what I'm going to be working on, so I'm still in the Warbird realm. But I'm excited to see that. That's a model. I want to see a video of it. I want to see it perform, and Che, I think you're going to do a great job with it. I hope you don't fear it. It's probably going to be... It looks to me like if the L39's already a beautifully flying plane in the foam version, I can only imagine what a balsa version is going to be like. It's probably going to be awesome and tame and, you know, everything you want in a jet. And then lastly, we had three more. Merry Boozers. I know they're not quite doing their live show anymore weekly. They're making it more special. They're doing a lot of other stuff, but he got out with he has his original Venom, and he had customized that thing. And Wes, get that submitted into the contest because it's a beautiful looking Venom. He did a great job, his weathering and such, and always enjoy a Merry Boozer video. So go check out Wesley Miller and the Booze Crew on Merry Boozer RC, and check out that Venom. The Venom, one of my favorite planes. One of my favorite to fly. I find it one of the easier EDF jets to fly, if that's allowed to be said. Now this name, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce this. If somebody can phonetically type this out, Arkaduz Kajin?
That's it.
Arkaduz?
Yeah, you got it.
Arkaduz?
For sure.
Did we press play here?
No, we didn't.
Oh, like it just still focused on me. But he had his F4. Always good to see an F4 flying around. And another, I think we showed his channel once. But I liked it. I like his video. He cuts it together. Gives you the good stuff. Cuts out the minutiae. And but it sounds great. And it looks like it flies well. And I have the gray one in the box that I just haven't had a chance to open, put together, and do videos for. So I'm excited. That's the one, probably the last 90mm that I haven't flown yet. That and the Starfighter. I don't know why. I had the camo one here, and then Wesley put it into the dirt and Jonal before I had a chance. But I want to get myself on the F4 at some point. And then this F-22 one. What is that? That's us?
This is coming next week.
Oh, yeah, coming next week. I'm like, why does it say F-22 with nobody? Yeah. Oh, yeah, so yesterday when we went out with the MiG, I also brought the 64mm F-22 out there, and man, this thing is so much fun. I mean, I love these like little park flyers, but if you're looking for a beginner EDF jet, then after flying this 22, like I always say, the big 90mm could easily be a trainer jet, the 90mm, but the 64mm is 100%. If you already know how to fly and you're looking to get into jets, something like this is so fun and so easy to fly. It just wants to float. It's so light. I put a little 1600mm 4S, so this is the 4S version, and if you tame down the rates, it's gonna be awesome. Like, Hamilton saying that's his first. Like, the F-22 body, we had a lot of wind out there, so I was all over the place. But the F-22 body just alone has the lift. It wants to be in the sky. It's not just gonna fall out of the air on you. And with like I remember flying the the F-18 version, the 64 millimeter 4S, and you could cut the throttle on these and glide them all the way home if you want to. But what I like too is you can practice throttle control descents to get yourself ready for the bigger jets, because that's the one thing you're not going to be able to do with most jets is chop the throttle like you say a Warbird or a, like a Trojan or something, and be able to just glide in, flare, and land. It doesn't work like that with jets, especially so I was flying this one about 3 times and then went to the MiG, which I hadn't flown in a while, and I was like, oh yeah, I can't just drop the throttle and land. But either way, it's a lot of fun. So we'll have that video coming up soon, which is always fun. And I think that moves on to, I wanted to open my NGH motor. So I told you guys this is the year for me. At some point this year, I'm going to fly my first gas model that I set up from beginning to end. I just got it's so big. So big. Touching, just don't want it to leave the table on me. But here she is. So I believe this is the 17cc. Yeah, the GT17. And this is going to go in the Nexa Hellcat, which I'm excited about. But I have yet to unbox and open an NGH motor. So what do they give you? So they give you all your manual, which I will surely not read and just try to do it myself. But this is going to give you all your fuel, the ratios you need, and all manual, your choke, tells you where everything is. What else do they have in here? Oh, NGH sticker. Put that on there. All boxed up nicely. But there we go. So my plan too is to eventually make a step-by-step, engine break-in from a noob in gas like myself, or any other noobs out there. I want to do it. So what do they give us in here? Call it out for me. And we got some wiring, probably for my starter. Maybe? This is the ignition. Or is this what's going to get wired to my throttle, or the ignition gets into my throttle? I don't know which goes into my receiver channel, if you will. But I like with these packs, you basically get everything you need for the motor and the plane itself in one shot. There's my starter plug, ignition. Then if you wanted an actual switch, you'd have to buy that separately, right? If I wanted to put a switch ignition on the back. But there we go. So what do they say here? This is the first for me. RPM signal, so revolutions per minute signal. Then I got this one. Oh, I'm gonna be in the manual, Alex.
I feel like we need to live stream it, but not look at the comments until after you're done to see everybody yell at you as you do it wrong and figure it out yourself.
The longest live stream in history. Yeah. We've been on for 3 weeks now, and he still hasn't started it. All right, so we got a plug. What's that? Spark. So if I wanted to go, if I wanted to go glow, no. Can I do it? No, this is a gasoline engine. I can't do that. That must just be another replacement. But let's see the motor coming out. I wasn't sure. You get your muffler, exhaust. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see it. Let's see it up close and personal. And I don't know if you guys do this, but whenever I open a new model or anything new, I gotta give it the old. That smells good. It smells good. You guys know that smell. Wow. She's a little beast. I'm excited with that. And then we'll see how it goes. Let's fly. James flies it as much as he can. We had a guy in our field yesterday who was flying gas, and it was like 15-minute flights before we could go up with the MiG in between. Whenever we go, it was like, but it was rocking and rolling with it. Look at that. This looks really, really nice. I mean, seems well constructed to me. I like the blue on the front. But I gotta watch some videos. And then we have our, what am I saying? I want to say muffler or exhaust. What comes in it? Yeah, the muffler. It is the muffler. So this is what you put your mouth on for you kids. I don't know what you kids are doing out there. But we got that. And our muffler. And then I actually bought a NGH. We carry it. It's an NGH motor mount. So in the plane, I'm going to use the motor mount that came with the plane. But when I build myself a test stand, I'm going to use that motor mount for my test stand for the NGH. And I'm assuming I can move that as I advance. You can use it with any size NGH motor, I believe. So then I plan to make a test stand that I can eventually use to test all of them. So, you know, because I'm going to start this. I want to get this start up and ready to go before I ever even bother putting it on the aircraft first. But I'm excited. So, you know, I don't fear it. I more fear my fingers. I really like these things. So, you know, so I'm going to be extra overly cautious. I might have a whole hazmat suit on and just make sure I do this right and get the help, you know, from the guys at the club who play with this stuff, because I want to learn, because I feel like it might be one of those things like, you know, I love the big foam aircraft. They're awesome. But when you fly that big Black Horse Zero, you understand why people like that. So maybe if I fly a gasser, I'll have a better understanding of why people still love to get dirty and fuss with gas. But maybe I picked the wrong time, because gas prices are going through the roof. I better go buy it before the price of crude hits $300. Better go get my gas now, not wait. Oil, but there it is. So I'm excited, man. That is the NGH. That is an NGH system out of the box. It's everything you get. Looks like, you know, enough to get started. And we will, you know, this is going to take some time. This isn't something that I'm going to have ready to go on next week.
You're promising everyone it's done next week?
What I'd like to do next week is at least in the background get my test bench built, so that I have make sure it's nice and sturdy, have it put together and ready to go. I got myself a fuel pump, so I just need a fuel can, and I got myself some extra tubing and all that stuff, to get ready to go. And then I believe I have my prop. Yeah, the prop should be there, so we should be able to get it, testing, and then, I know I'm going to be on that needle. I remember that, I always see people, and the thing is, they're like, I like the way this is, at least. I saw some, I don't know if this is other gas motors, but sometimes the needle's like, it seems like it's really close to the prop. I like that these needles are pointed back and away, so I'll be able to get a long screwdriver. I'll be like 8 feet away with like the Joker gun in the Michael Keaton Batman movie, like a longest screwdriver ever from deep, and I don't want to be near it, that close anyway. But I like that it's pointed that way. I feel like I've seen some where it's very close, and guys who are sometimes, to me, with gas or with anything, even electric, I get scared when people seem too comfortable with things.
They're walking out with their prop
One
running.
Guy in my field, I don't know who you are. The guy was flying the gasser yesterday. He starts his gasser on the table, and he walks it out like this, with the engine running, and puts it down on the... I'm like, why don't you just start it on the ground? Like, And then he took off in a tailwind, and he landed in a tailwind. So I was, it's one of those things where you just look and you say, well, what happened? What happened to fundamentals? Where are the fundamentals on that? It just doesn't seem safe when it's going. You don't adjust them I see somebody say you actually don't adjust you don't adjust them when it's running. I feel like I always see guys, adjusting them, tuning it as it's running to get there. But anyway, I'm gonna film the whole experience. What do you want to be zoomed in on, James? What do I want to zoom in? Oh, James, zoom in, Alex. On which? What do you want to zoom in on? On my face?
Can you see where the high and low end is? We don't even
right
know
here?
what we're looking at here.
This? I'll move it closer.
I hope you're getting what you're looking for.
Only adjust the width of a screwdriver. Very slight adjustments. Only adjust when motor is off. Okay, all right. So again, I'm gonna do my homework. I found a bunch of reference materials, so when I get started, it's going to be, let me get it built first, set up. Let me get my stand going, and then we'll get futzing with it. But I'll be excited first. But is this showing you guys what you guys want to see?
I'm waiting for James to kick back in here.
And then once I figure this out, that I think it's the type of thing where it's, then I won't have any fear jumping up to a really big motor. I want to try that Admiral 60cc gasser, and I want to put that on the Zero or that P47, the Black Horse. Might as well, right? I mean, what's the point of doing this job if you're not going to do that? That's the way to go.
There we go. He said thanks. We got it.
We got it.
I hope.
But they look well built, NGH, great. Seems like a great brand. So, but we will see. We shall see as it goes through. So, guys, that'll do it for this Friday. It is March 5th, as I said. I think. Who knows? It's already March. But, guys, get those entries in. March Mayhem is going to be kicking. So, next Friday on this show, we're going to do our unveiling. So, that show's probably going to run over like it did last year. But next year next show is just going to be 100% dedicated to the March Mayhem tourney and doing the brackets. So, this is probably going to say March Mayhem, Thrust Division, Weight Division, Lift Division, Drag Division. And then at the very end, at 1 p.m. that day, is when the voting will happen. So I'll open up that site. I'll share it everywhere. It's just a link, and all you have to do on that page, you'll see two matchups, the first two matchups, and you just have to click each one, and it saves all your entries as it goes through the bracket. So if you remember the 64 bracket, there's 30 matchups in the first round, 32 matchups in the first round. So when it gets to 33, that'll be the two planes that you picked in the first two times. They'll be up against each other, and you pick through, and it saves all your entries. So you basically fill out the bracket to a winner. Then you just have to put your name and your Motion RC account email address. So you're only allowed to do it once, in that sense, and then you submit, and then that'll run for 2 weeks. So we're going to leave the voting portion off for 2 weeks. So you have plenty of time to vote and have fun, and then that'll be 2 weeks from now. We'll announce our winners. So I'm super excited, and we'll already be done with March at that point.
Crazy.
And but either way, that's what's going on here, guys. So thank you guys so much. William Decker, Titanic. Oh, we have questions and answers. Let's give 5. I got 5 more minutes. I see a question. So Titanic in May, right? Talking about Bancroft. I hope so, man. William, I don't have access to that information. If I want to know, I got to call somebody and they got to check. So live on here is, if you want, next time ask the question, maybe, ask it in our Hobby Squawk thread, like dedicated to the show where people share picks. Give me some time, and then I can answer the questions here, for you. I could have those answered. But, I'm live here. I can't,
Hold on, let me call.
Yeah, let me call a warehouse and find. I mean, I'm sure everything's on the way. They're getting containers back, but, it's a slow and steady process. And I don't, that's a new factory for me. I don't know anything about going into that. Do you know when the F-15 will be available, or when they're working on a new one? I have no idea. I mean, it could be at the warehouse now, because if you saw, I posted a few pictures this week from the warehouse. The staff sent me a few pictures of boxes of Freewing planes. So I hope, and now remember, they're unboxing those as we speak. They're pulling it off the warehouse. They're checking them in, and as they get scanned into the computer, the website will update. So that takes, because remember, our warehouse staff is not only trying to unload containers and do that, sort and store, they're also trying to ship out the other orders. Like I saw somebody, on Facebook complain about, it took them a little while to get their orders in. We've had a lot of containers come in. All those cars just came in. Now we got a lot of, containers are coming in now. So it just takes time. Can you submit a collage? For that, you don't know. I wouldn't do a collage. Just a solo picture of your aircraft. You could submit more than one aircraft, but collages is, because remember,
it's gonna get shrunk.
It's gonna get shrunk down to, equal sizes up against something else. So then people are really gonna be, I would just one beautiful, nice one. picture, or multiple pictures, but then you leave it on us to choose what picture we think is the best, if it's going to make it at all.
You can always campaign on Hobby Squawk to get those votes.
Yeah.
You know, but we're only going to take one.
Yeah. Full Send RC Productions. The weight on the TV MiG-29 units, that information is out there. 2 weeks ago, I unboxed them live on this show. If you go in the playlist for the live shows, go to episode 7, I believe it was, and I put them on the scale towards the end, an individual unit. So you could go and check that one out. But I don't remember what it is on my hand. I want to say it's like 150 grams
Sounds
together.
Right. I
feel like
making you put it in grams. We did do that.
Yeah, we did it in grams. I feel like that was that. Futaba. Who asked me about which Futaba? Claudio. I'm flying the 10J. The T10J is what I'm using. So 10 channel transmitter, and I dig it. I definitely would like to eventually upgrade to the 14 or the 16, but I like it. You know, it's just different because, again, I still have a DX9 is what I fly a lot on, and the one thing that I had to get used to is the switches are different. So, like, these aren't 3-position where they're 3-position on another one. This is a momentary switch, so this is usually where my gear was, but now my gear is here, and I've now put my flaps here like people normally do, but I always had my gear here and my flaps. Those are my two most used. So now, even I guess I could put my gear on them. No, you can't. You can't. Can you? I didn't even try. I just put it on, you know, here. That was the only difference that I see. But I like it. I definitely like it. Yeah, shipping, when it comes out, I honestly, shipping is the thing I hate the most when people go in Motion RC community and start complaining about FedEx or UPS or USPS. It's like,
Take
dude,
it to the UPS
it's
fan
like, yeah,
group.
go find the FedEx fan media group and complain there, or just deal with it like everyone else on the planet. There are 4 shipping companies. It's like, you don't have a choice. You have an illusion of choice. But it's coming the way it comes. There's no other way.
Zero control.
I'd fly it there myself if I could, but I can't. It's like, it is what it is. You know, when it leaves our warehouse, we get it out as fast as possible, but it is no longer in our hands. It's on a completely different company, who's probably doing their best given the last year of how the climate's been, when everything's turned to online shopping, and they weren't ready for that. You know, crazy. TJ, MiG's coming back. Just a matter of when it comes out in a container. That's what we're waiting on. It goes back to shipping. But it's definitely coming back. We couldn't keep them in stock when they were here. We went through a lot of them. Havoc, Mojo, they should definitely, I've been waiting for myself for a new Havoc, the Skynetic one. In a while, I crashed mine a while back, and I'm like you, I'm waiting for it to come in as well, because I love that plane. And that seems to about do it. Yeah, you too, William. Have a great weekend. So I guess that's where we'll wrap up. So next week, March Mayhem. We're going to have some fun. We're going to unveil. So if you've entered it, you definitely want to watch the show, because we're just going to go one at a time, announcing the 64 teams. And last year I did the 64, and then I announced the brackets. We're just going to do it in bracket order. You know, it's no order. Like when I set the tournament, I'm not putting them like the way NCAA is all the 1 seeds, all the 2 seeds.
Yeah,
there's no weighted, like, you know, like what I try to do is once we figure out which 64 definites, then we go through and try to sort it as best we can. Like I said, if I get 16 AL37s, they'll probably end up in a division. But if I get 8 of them, I might scatter them throughout. It all depends on what's coming, the information you send to me, and the ones that we decide are the top 64 that we see. Then we sort it out, but we'll have a whole lot of fun. So that's where you'll see your name come up in lights, and you'll know if you're going to have a chance to win a Gripen or equivalent. You know, a Gripen. And that'll be awesome, guys.
I'll do my picks live next week, right after we unveil.
Okay, you're gonna pick a winner just off the top.
I'll just know.
All right. But guys, that'll do it for us here for this Friday, March 5th. We will see you next week for sure. So hit the like button on your way out the door. It's a nice thing to do. And we'll see you. And check out the merch store, because now you can get some Motion RC merch easier than in the past. So guys, that'll do it for us. See you next week.